Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This recap is for August 17th, 2023 on Thursday. So let's go over the market breadth indicators. As usual, in the beginning, the top is bullish, the bottom is bearish. And I will just say, on both sets of indicators, everything is now bearish. Every one of them. Let's check the summation. First on the weekly, let's go to the NASDAQ. Stocks above their 40-day moving average is now at 31%. That's bearish. NASDAQ, the 5-week is below the 10-week moving average, with price below the 5. RSI still above 50 at 54. Stoch pointing down. MACD is now negative. VIX still moving up at 17. It's not above 20. It's not above 25. The weekly RSI is still above 50. This is the only thing keeping me out still, but in my opinion, we've gone bearish with the market breadth indicators today. Absolutely. So what I'm looking for, I guess, is we will bounce at some point. When we bounce, I'll look to set up a lower high, and then we will fall. And when we fall, that will be the time to go short. Or we kind of go sideways for a bit and then fall, and we actually don't get a bounce. The next leg down is what I'm looking for. But the momentum has turned bearish. Check the SPY. Same thing. 5-week EMA is below the 10-week with price below the 5. RSI weekly is still above 50. MACD is slightly positive. Same as the NASDAQ VTI. Same as the S&P. RSI is slightly above 50. Weekly 5 EMA is below the 10 with price below both moving averages. Check the daily. RSI 21 is now below 50 for the total stock market index. Bearish. 10 below is the 10-day moving average is below the 20 with price below the 10. That's bearish. COMPQX, bearish. RSI 21 is below 50. VIX is not above 20 yet. SPY, same thing. So we're bearish. Now we're just kind of looking for an entry. We're going to get a bounce at some point. And when that bounce is done, in my opinion, unless something magical happens to turn the momentum back to bullish and all my market breadth and situational indicators go from bearish to bullish, I'm going to be looking to go short and looking for entries. Let's check the scans. So on the Power Stock scan, I have 47 stocks remaining on the list from 100 and 120. Once these stocks fall below their 20-day moving average, they go off my Power Stock scan and they'll go on to my shorts list, which I'll also cover today now that we have gone bearish. But we'll check what's holding up. I still go over the Power Stock scan, which is bullish, even in a bearish market, just to get a feeling, just to see how stocks are moving, what's holding up. Watching this go from 47 back to above 100, that is a momentum shift in itself. CLS still holding the 5 and the 10. AAOI still holding the 10. USM holding the 5. STRL, this is a sell. It has fallen below the 5. I mean, it's right at the 10, but with the market environment being what it is, I would be out. HKIT, this is a new one. IPO, interesting. Not buying it though. CNX holding up. Don't really like that candle. It's in a strong uptrend though. VRT breaking down. That's now falling below the 5 and the 10. That's a sell. TDS holding up. Groupon running. Hold it if you got it. ACHR kind of consolidating here. Volume is picking up. Again, the market is not a bullish environment. This is just for my review. CEIX, this is the one stock I actually really like. Popped up and then closed flat, up 0.88%. Oil and gas, SM holding up. CELH, I liked the breakout day here, but again, I also said that we're not in the right environment, and look what happens. Pulls back, that falls below the 5, it's at the 10. I would sell that. Again, this is just my opinion. Please do not place a trade based on what I say. AMR, coal, reversal candle, has not fallen below the 5. US Steel holding up. Commodities, you know, holding up here. Commodities looking strong. Not saying I'm going to buy them though. It's interesting to see. Oil and gas. Oil and gas. It's leisure stock. Oh, this is Yeti. The coolers. Pulling back to the 10. Ugly red candle. Oil and gas. Tilray. Still holding up. This is a day trader stock, nothing more. Arch Coal. Oil and gas. Steel. This is, there's no setup here. This isn't doing anything. Almost done. And that's it. Check the IPOs. DBD still the strongest stock right now over the last 14 weeks. Not sure what's going on with those two. AAOI holding up. This will be interesting to watch. I could see this thing just break down to 6 or something in one day. Super high ADR. Dollar volume's a little low. It's gone from, I mean, what is this? $1.75 to 15. If you wanted to short this, I'm sure it'd be hard to borrow. Okay, let's check the IPOs. New IPO, BOWN. KGS falling below the 5 and the 10. I'd sell that if I owned it. Boy, stuff's just cave up, just completely breaking down. Nothing interesting here. There's the Gulf stock. IPOs are a total snore right now, just nothing going on. And that's it for the IPOs. Start looking at my shorts list now. The short list, I've got kind of two indicators, or kind of two criteria that I scan with. That's a better way to put it. One of them is the fall from grace, which is these high flyers IPOs that were on the power stock scan now falling. XPO, this looks like a short today. SAIA, this hit an all-time high yesterday, now falling. That's a short. FTI looks like a short. CX stopping on the 20. This is in a setup. Good day for BBIO would have been there. Nvidia is not a short yet. Not in my opinion. But it's, I mean, it's got to get back above the 20. It's got to get back in this higher range. Otherwise it's going to fall. ELF. Look at ELF. Finally broke. Let's look at this in the weekly. Look at this run. Starts here at 30 bucks. Goes all the way to here, where it finally broke today. 276%. And that is from May of 2022 through today, August. Look at this as well. See this green line? That's the power zone. Run starts in May, kind of goes on the radar about August. So you're missing out on 30% there. But then you catch, I mean, there's a dip here, pops right back up here. And you catch this whole thing. Dips there, pops back up into the power zone. You know, I'm looking at the RSI as I'm following the chart. And just stays up this for months. And then finally breaks. Say it again. If you trade one thing, I would look at really considering trading the power RSI zone. You could be a position trader. When it goes into the power zone, you buy it. When it falls out of the power zone, you sell it. I mean, you would have made, I think, 2 trades in this whole run over the last 15 months. It's not a bad way to look at things. Let's go back to the daily. Carvana. Just no setup here. Again, I'm looking for, you know, a bounce. Rigs are short. Oil and gas, though, that's interesting. Those are the only ones holding up. Maybe that's foreshadowing something. EXTR, this was a sell here. ODFL, that's a sell. XP's a sell. Wayfair, this would have been a good short here. I might even consider shorting it there. But again, you know, the market's kind of oversold. I'd like to see a bounce up, have the, you know, a lot of these stocks get a lower high, and then we fall. And that's when I think you can make a lot of money. And then once the fall is done, get ready for year end. That's just what I'm thinking here. BLDR, that's sell. That's short. I mean, that broke. Look at that. Let's check this run. BLDR Starts out here. 25%. Finally hits the power zone. Definitely this week. At 20%. ADR is a little low. Here you catch this run. %. That's the thing with these low ADR stocks. If you pick a higher ADR stock, I mean, those will run 50%, not 15. NU, that's breaking. So these are on the scan. This looks like would be a good entry for Dash for a short. Falls, kind of goes sideways, and then has a range expansion. Actually opens up and then reverses and closes right there. SMCI, here's another darling. Broke, I think this was earnings that day, broke, and you're looking for a way in. Kind of not really a good setup here, because if it just broke down maybe this day below this candle, but you got 3 days down in a row, that's, you don't want to enter on the 4th day or the 3rd day. That's risky. But let's look at it on the weekly. Caught a little bit of the run here in the power zone. 26%. I mean, this is exactly what you want to see. Look at all the weekly moving averages. They're all in alignment. There's a consolidation here for, I don't know, 6, 7, 8 months. You get a breakout, it goes in the power zone. This is exactly, decent volume on the weekly breakout. I mean, that's 100%. Doubled your money. I mean, you would have sold this big down week. And I'm sure, I don't like to hold through earnings, so I'd have probably sold before, especially after this kind of run. I mean, this whole run is captured in the power RSI zone. Back to the daily here. MDB. That looks like a short to me. Again, the VIX hasn't, this is a short, look at Palantir break. It's been holding 15 and then broke. Was waiting to see if it was going to go up or down. It's fallen down. That's the short to me. Probably come back to 10. Here's a good support zone. I mean, maybe here. And then when I go short, it's the same thing. Use the 5-day EMA and the 10-day EMA as when you cover. Notice how it doesn't break above the 5-day EMA. It's just you do the same thing you do when you go long, just in reverse. This isn't complicated. It's the hard part is trading the system, keeping your emotions out. Look at coin. This is the break day. Has a little bit of a bounce, a couple ugly candles, and it's just riding the 5-day EMA down. It's 20%. Got 120 stocks on my short list, 47 on my power stock scan. Mara breaking down, actually accelerating. Here's an entry. Here's an entry. I mean, the 5 falls below the 10, the 10's below the 20. Here's a short entry. Here's a short entry. Here's a short entry. And look, none of them close above the 5. You could have shorted it there and just held it. How much is that? 22%. So I've missed some of these. I've been waiting to see, the market breadth change. The VIX has not elevated above 20 or 25. The weekly RSIs are not below 50. But that's, you know, that's the system. That's what I do. I might miss some of these, but there'll be a lot I get. I like to trade with the market breadth when I'm sure. I'd rather sit out if I'm unsure than, you know, get chopped up. AI, this is breaking. Broke down again today. Just kind of holding this support line and broke down. I mean, the 10's below the 20 is below the 50, the 5's below the 10. Bearish. That is bearish. Look at Upstart. This day right here, I mean, here's the sell day. It breaks below the 10, big candle. And then here's when it comes off the power stock scan and just keeps going. No setup here to short or long. Well, I wouldn't long this anyway. The stock's not above the 20-day moving average. I'm not going long it. Look at this one. God, dollar volume that day. Riot. Ugly. Could have shorted it there. Could have shorted it there. Even here a little bit. And then just never even touches the 5. 5-day EMA. Hood. 5-day EMA. Still below it. Tesla, same thing. Probably would have tried to short it there. Got caught and then reshorted. 16%. Tesla's got those 1.5 ETFs now you can buy and sell. So does Nvidia, so do a couple stocks. When I short, you know, I use high dollar volume stocks. I don't like those hard to borrow stocks where, you know, short these low float stocks. I don't do that. I either short these larger cap stocks that have, you know, above 3 ADR, or I will buy these inverse ETFs that, you know, have high dollar volume as well and are liquid. Boot, that looks like a short. Wayfair is a short. Was a short yesterday. Okay, sorry, getting back. AMD, that's a short. So AMD's breaking down. SMCI is breaking down. Is Nvidia, you know, is Nvidia the one that's different? Hawaiian Electric, this is the Maui fires. Sad what's happened over there. SAI, this is a short. That's a short. At least in my opinion. Am I going back around here? I think when I switched the scan, my short scan got resorted here, but I'm at the end of it. NU. This big rounding top. Never gets above 8. It's hard to short these smaller, you know, value stocks. This is an $8 stock, but the dollar volume's high, so I would still look at it. All right, that's all I got for today. I mean, we'll keep an eye on the market. Again, what I'm thinking is going to happen is we will bounce at some point. I'm not talking one day bounce. I'm talking, here, let's look at Apple. We didn't look at those. Let's look at the market stocks. I forgot to do that. Apple looks really bad. I mean, this is a bear flag, and it broke down today. Amazon broke down below this kind of support area. Google's the only one really holding up. Google hasn't broke. Meta broke. Microsoft is broke. Netflix is accelerating to the downside. Nvidia's not looking good. Tesla broke. Total stock market index broke. I mean, this is your market right here. I mean, the Russell is kind of included in the VTI because this is all stocks. But what I expect is, you know, at some point, I thought it would have been through here and we'd get a bounce back up to the 20 with kind of that consolidation, or, you know, consolidate through here on Microsoft and we get a bounce, maybe to the 20 or the 50 or, you know, right up in here, which the support zone. It's hard to see on these smaller charts, I apologize. And then it bounces back up to the 20 and then we fall. But we've just kind of been falling. So, see what happens, but I'm looking for shorts. I'm looking for setups on the bearish side. And yeah, not looking to take anything long except maybe an inverse ETF. All right, that's it for tonight. If you like what I'm doing, please like and subscribe.